Students, today we'll continue with the chapter from hunting gathering to growing food. Yes, here we will talk about the place where the early man chose to live. So, the early man always chooses the sites where he had the sources of water, like where he had the availability of rivers and lakes. And the second important thing which he always looked, that was stone tools. Yes, as stone tools were very important for them, so he always tried to the for the place where he can had the stone tools availability. Now the next is fire. Yes, the fire is the biggest discovery in our history, and it was given to us by the earliest people only. And from there only, these people started using also fire for various things, like for lighting their houses, to cook their food, to scare away animals. The another one is this Palatic Era. Yes, our archaeologists have divided the earliest people period of time into three parts. The first part which we are studying here is the Paleolithic part. Paleo here means the old and lithos means stone. So we are talking here about the stone era, which was extended from 2 million years ago to 12,000 years. But this Paleolithic is also divided into further three parts, that is lower, middle and upper Paleolithic. And if we see the environmental changes, then it happened in the second stage, that was Mesolithic period of time, and which was extended from 12,000 years ago. And the third stage is the Neolithic period, which is from 10,000 years ago. This is the era when earliest people started using polished stones, and the farming had also developed in this period only. Now, as I have talked about the Mesolithic period in which there was a change in the environment, which was 12,000 years ago. So, what was the change? Yes, there was a change in the climate of the world, because in this period of time there was relatively warm conditions, and when there was a warm conditions, it gave birth to the grasslands. Means there was a development in grassland, which led to an increase in the number of deer, antelope, goat, sheep and other herbivorous animals. And in this era only, fishing had also become the important part of earliest people. If we talk about earliest people discoveries, we have already discussed about the fire, but another thing which they have always made, and which had made archaeologists helpful to know about their life, was rock paintings. Yes, there were various rock paintings which we can see on the walls, basically of Madhya Pradesh and southern out Uttar Pradesh. And these paintings are basically of wild animals which are drawn by the earliest people only, and it has been drawn with great accuracy. Due to environmental changes, there was a change in the working of earliest people also, as it was the time when several green bearing grasses started growing. Yes, it means that earliest people started growing crops like barley and rice, and these all the plants are edible. So, this was the time only when he started doing further, like herding. Yes, even the early man started keeping the animals also. The first animal which was tamed by the earliest people were the ancestors of the dog. Yes, the dog was the first ancestor which was used by the earliest people, and they used it to protect them from the attacks of wild animals. A new way to life. Yes, this was the new way to life of earliest people. It means that earliest earliest people had to stay in the same place for a long time as they have started growing the crops. So, to taking care of the plants from weeding to till the graining and ripening, they kept on starting living at one place only so that they can see the growth of the plant. Now, the earliest people had also storing animals because animals multiply them naturally if they have looked after carefully. Animals provide lot many things like milk, which is an important source of food. So these were the store of animals. Now, finding about the first farmers and herders. If you see on the map given to you, you can see a blue squares, and each marks a site from where archaeologists have found evidence of early farmers and herders. These are found all over the subcontinents, and some of the important parts are in the northwest, which is in the present day Kashmir, and in the east of South India. Then these sites were settlements of the farmers and the herders where these people lived. Then further on, our archaeologists have proved that earliest people started towards a settled life because they have found the traces of herds or houses in these sites. Like in Kashmir, people built pit houses that time. What was pit houses? Which were dug into the ground with the steps leading into them. And these may have provided them shelter in the cold season. And archaeologists have even found the coal cooking hearths also, even inside the houses and outside the houses. So you can see here the picture of pit houses. Now, if you see further again in the map, you can see that there is a site which is located in the fertile plain near the Bolan Pass, which is one of the most important route into Iran. And Mehergarh was probably one of the places where women and men learned to grow barley and wheat. And they started rearing sheep and goats also, first time in the Mehergarh area only. Archaeologists have excavated sites from where he can had the evidence of many kinds of animals' bones from the earliest level. And these includes the bones of the wild animals like deer and pig. So you can see Mehergarh for all these things which had shown the remains of square and rectangular houses also. It means in the time, that time, if we talk about Mehergarh, there was houses which was made by the earliest people in the form of square and rectangle only. And some of these houses were used as a storage also. When people die or even their relatives or friends generally pay respect to them. Yes, our archaeologists have proved this thing also. Because people perhaps believe that there is some form of life after death. Thus, from the Mehergarh concept, it showed that these people also believed in the life after death. So, hence, students, with this, I conclude the chapter which showed that the earliest people started their life from hunting, then transformed into gathering, and then change into growing of food. Thank you.